Deatrice Biagas, who is in the Army at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Vargas, the 1994 U.S. champion, has bigger goals in mind, as we found out when we talked to him during his training this past week.
My goal is to win the 1996 Olympics and, become a gold medal. That would mean a lot to me. That's my all-time goal. That's my biggest dream right now, and that's what I look forward through every workout. I always try to train hard just so I can win certain tournaments, just so I can get recognized.
Vargas is 15-1, make it 16-1 after a semifinal victory here in St. Louis, ousting Salvador Hasso, another outstanding young teenage prospect. Let's go now to ring announcer Mark O'Brien.
And the next bout features 132-pounders. Introducing first in the red corner, representing the South region from Oxnard, California. He is the two-time U.S. Junior Olympic champion and current U.S. champion. This is Fernando Vargas. And in the blue corner, representing the East region and the U.S. Army, Fort Bragg, North Carolina. He is the defending U.S. Olympic champion, 1994 Armed Forces champion, Deatrice Biagas. Referee for this bout, Ray Silvas from Houston, Texas.
Ray Silvas, the referee. Biagas, the 1994 Armed Forces champion who won the U.S. Olympic Festival competition a year ago. He is 25 years of age at 5'9", a reach of 69 inches, and obviously a little taller, a little longer reach than Vargas, the 16-year-old, youngest ever U.S. national champion. In fact, still too young to compete in international competition.
Tim, this fight could be a matchmaker's dream. You have a pressure fighter in Vargas against a guy, a slick boxing guy in Biagas. So it should be really a great fight. Biagas in the semifinals showed a lot of lateral movement and a lot of left hands. That's usually very effective in amateur boxing.
He defeated Joe Federico in his semifinal match, while Vargas ousted Salvador Hasso, as we mentioned, and an 18-year-old, very good-looking prospect himself. Hasso, 25-year-old Biagas from Lattell, Louisiana, in the Army at Fort Bragg. Vargas, a surprisingly mature, very poised young man at age 16, both in and out of the ring. Said he was watching amateur boxing on television a few years back, didn't realize that there were fighters in the amateurs. He thought everything began and ended with the Mike Tysons of the world. He went right down to the gym, got himself started, fell in love with the sport, now has his younger brother in it. And we've got an injury here to Biagas. Not sure what happened there, Gil. Looks like his shoulder. Yeah, he must have thrown his shoulder out, and referee Silva giving him a standing 8 count. We'll see whether Biagas can recover from that. Don't know whether it was from a blow or from one of his punches.
Well, now he's going to have to stick and move, which you can see that he's doing.
We're in the first round of the scheduled 3-rounder. Good concentration by Vargas.
And Tim, for a 16-year-old kid, Vargas has a mature body. Doesn't have any baby fat, all muscle.
132 pounds. Hard to know exactly what weight he'll wind up at, but most people who have seen him say he's got a fine future ahead. Naturally, he'd like to follow in the footsteps of Oscar De La Hoya, another Californian Hispanic who has gone on to become an outstanding professional and a gold medalist in the Olympics. A minute to go in the first round, and Biagas appears to have recovered from whatever that injury to his arm or shoulder was.
But so far, Tim, he's only been using his left hand. Since there's that right hand, now he's throwing both hands.
Vargas acknowledged it, a little shake of his head. Oh, good combination by Vargas there, backing up Biagas. Biagas ties him up. Under the 30-second mark, we are in round 1. Vargas in green, Biagas in blue.
And Tim, Biagas is making a mistake. He's trying to punch and get out of the way at the same time. You can't do both.
Managed to avoid 2 shots there from Vargas, but as you say, you can't do both. Little redness under the left eye of Biagas. Final seconds, round one. Well, going back to Biagas' corner, there seems to be no evidence of that rather strange injury that occurred earlier in the round. Let's see if they talk about it here in the corner.
You're not going to be able to get him with a first jab. First jab, you're not going to get him, so double up with it. The first jab, what he's doing, he's reaching for the block. Okay, he tried to reach for the block, come back with the second one. Okay, so you can catch him, okay? When you throw your right hand, make it short. Make the short right hand and move again. Okay? Remember, you got to move your jab. You got to keep him off balance. Let him get set. Just keep jabbing. Okay? Yeah, you're doing good. You're doing good. But we got to do a little better, okay?
You do your right.
You got to do better. You keep moving, okay? You're not going to catch him with the first jab. Okay, but he's reaching for the jab. Every time you jab him, he's reaching for it, so come back with the second one. Okay? And when you throw your right hand, make it short. Make it short right hand. Okay? Keep moving. Just keep moving. Keep boxing.
Well, here's a look back at what happened to Biagas here in the first round. Well, we'd like to tell you what happened. It's just hard to say. He did carry on, but seemed to be favoring his shoulder and his arm. Just a very strange kind of an injury. Apparently is all right. With his trainer about it between rounds, and we're into round two.
And Tim, Biagas' trainer gave him very good advice between rounds. I had mentioned that he was short with his jab. That's what I meant by saying trying to punch and get out of the way at the same time. He's not landing the punch. So his trainer told him to double up the jab, get the second one in there. See, he's throwing one jab and trying to pull back. He's not punching through the punch.
Vargas just holds his ground. He stays right there, trying to find openings for his punches. And caution from referee Ray Silvas in the crowd here. Probably a lot of them not so familiar with the amateur rules. They're used to watching the pros, and there are a lot of cautions for a lot of infractions under the amateur rules. That was for a holding violation. A good flurry by both boxers that time. But see Vargas just come immediately right back to the fray and get himself into position.
Again, Biagas is not showing as much lateral movement as he showed me in the semifinal bout, and short with that left jab. That is a mistake.
Vargas in green, Biagas in blue, 132-pound champion.